Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the English Practice Podcast. My name is Ryan.
And I'm Sophie. Today we're taking you to one of the most common situations in everyday life, eating at a restaurant.
Exactly. Almost everyone enjoys going out to eat, but sometimes ordering food or asking questions in English can feel stressful.
That's right, especially for learners. Sometimes menus have difficult words, and sometimes the waiter speaks quickly.
So, in today's episode, we're going to practice how to have a natural conversation at a restaurant, from choosing a place to ordering food and paying the bill.
And we'll also give you some useful vocabulary and expressions you can use right away.
Sophie, let me start with a question. Do you enjoy eating at restaurants?
Oh, yes, I really do. It feels like a treat. I don't have to cook, I can try new flavors, and I get to relax. How about you?
Same here. I like the experience of sitting down, looking at the menu, and feeling excited about what's coming.
Do you usually go for the same type of food, or do you try different cuisines?
I try to mix it up. Sometimes Italian, sometimes Mexican, sometimes Asian. It depends on my mood.
That's interesting. For me, I usually end up at Asian restaurants. I love noodles, sushi, and spicy curries.
Speaking of mood, there's a great phrase. I'm in the mood for example, today I'm in the mood for pizza.
Yes! Or I could say, I'm in the mood for something light, maybe a salad. That phrase is really useful when deciding what to eat.
Let's imagine we're going out together to a restaurant.
Sounds fun. Okay, Ryan, where should we go?
Well, there's a new Italian place in town. The reviews say the pasta is amazing and the decor is beautiful.
That sounds nice, but honestly, I'm not all that crazy about Italian food today. I feel like something lighter.
No worries. How about the little French bistro near the park? They make a really tasty seafood platter.
Oh, I wish. But I'm allergic to seafood, so that wouldn't work for me.
Right, I forgot. Okay, let me think. There's also a small place downtown. It looks simple, but the sandwiches are outstanding.
Oh, yes, I remember that one. But last time you took me there, I got a bit of food poisoning. Remember?
Oh no, I do remember. Sorry about that. Let's skip that option.
It's okay. These things happen. What about trying that new vegetarian cafe? I've heard the food is really fresh and healthy.
Great idea. Let's check it out.
Perfect. Now we're at the cafe. A waiter comes over and asks, "Do you have any plans for the evening?" What should we say?
I'd answer, we're thinking of having dinner here. Could you recommend something from the menu?
Yes, that's polite and natural. And then the waiter might say, "I'd recommend trying our roasted vegetable bowl. It's really tasty."
And we could reply, that sounds fantastic. I'll give it a try.
Exactly. Notice the useful phrases. I'd recommend and give it a try. Both are great for real conversations.
Speaking of menus, sometimes learners feel nervous when they don't understand a dish.
That's true. If that happens, you can always ask, "Excuse me, what's in this dish?" Or, "How is this cooked?"
Yes, waiters are used to those questions. And if you're worried about allergies, you can say, does this contain nuts? Or is there any seafood in this?
Exactly. It's always better to ask than to take a risk.
Also, if you want to sound polite, you can add, could you tell me before your question?
Right. For example, could you tell me what comes with the pasta? That's polite and clear.
When the waiter explains, you can show interest by saying, oh, that sounds good. Or, that sounds tasty.
Yes, showing interest makes the conversation friendly.
Another helpful phrase is I'll go with when ordering.
Yes, like, I'll go with the salad or I'll go with the soup. It sounds casual and natural.
And if you're still deciding, you can say, I'm still deciding. Could you give me a minute?
That's a lifesaver when the waiter comes too quickly and you're not ready.
Let's say we've chosen our meals. The waiter writes them down and then asks, would you like something to drink?
I'd say, yes, I'd like a glass of sparkling water, please.
And I'd say, I'll have a fresh orange juice, please.
Politeness is important. Adding please at the end makes a big difference.
Exactly. After the drinks, we look at the starters.
I notice they have hummus with warm bread. That sounds tasty.
I think I'll start with the tomato soup.
Great choice. Then the waiter might confirm, so one hummus and one tomato soup?
And we answer, that's right, thank you.
While waiting for food, we can make small talk. For example, this place has such a cozy atmosphere.
Or, I like the decoration, the lighting is really nice.
Yes, atmosphere is part of the restaurant experience.
After a few minutes, the food arrives. I try the soup and say, wow, this is delicious.
And I try the hummus and say, this is really tasty.
Tasty is a very common word. People don't always say delicious.
True, tasty is shorter and sounds more natural.
While eating, the waiter might ask, how is everything?
And we can reply, everything is great, thank you. Or, it's really good.
If something is wrong, you can politely say, actually, the soup is a little cold. Could you warm it up?
Right? It's polite, but still clear about the problem.
Sometimes food comes late. In that case, you might say, excuse me, we've been waiting for a while. Do you know when our food will be ready?
That's a polite way to ask without sounding rude.
And if you like something very much, you can say, this is outstanding.
Or, the flavors are amazing. That shows strong enthusiasm.
After finishing the starters, the waiter takes away the plates and asks if we're ready for the main course.
I'd say, yes, I'll have the roasted vegetable bowl, please.
And I'd order, I'll take the mushroom risotto, please.
Notice again the options. I'll have, or I'll take. Both are good.
While waiting for the main dishes, we might talk about our restaurant habits.
For example, I could say, I usually eat out once or twice a week.
And I'd say, I eat out mostly on weekends when I don't feel like cooking.
Exactly. That's a nice way to continue conversation naturally.
Now the main dishes arrive. I taste mine and say, this is so flavorful.
And I try mine and say, the texture is perfect, not too soft, not too hard.
Vocabulary like flavorful and texture helps you describe food in detail.
Yes, instead of just saying good or bad, you could describe how it feels or tastes.
For example, the soup is creamy or the bread is crunchy.
Or the sauce is spicy. Or the salad is refreshing.
The waiter might check again. Is everything to your liking?
And we can reply, yes, everything is wonderful, thank you.
If we want to try dessert later, we can ask, do you have a dessert menu?
Or, what desserts would you recommend? That's a friendly question.
After finishing the main course, we're full but curious about dessert.
I'd say, I'm in the mood for something sweet.
And I'd reply, me too. Maybe we can share a dessert.
Sharing is common when you don't want a big portion.
The waiter brings the dessert menu.
I see chocolate cake, fruit salad, and ice cream.
I'd say, I'll have the chocolate cake, please.
And I'd say, I'll try the fruit salad, please.
When desserts arrive, I take a bite and say, wow, this cake is rich and moist.
And I say, the fruit is so fresh, it tastes amazing.
Then we enjoy our desserts while chatting about the experience.
And this completes a full restaurant visit from start to dessert.
Welcome back, everyone. In the first half, we enjoyed starters, mains, and desserts. Now let's practice what happens after the meal.
Yes, after dessert, the waiter usually comes and asks, "Would you like anything else?"
And if we're finished, we can reply, "No, thank you. We're fine."
Or, "No thanks, we're full." That's a common way to say you've had enough.
Then comes the important part, asking for the bill.
Right. In American English, we usually say, "Can we get the check, please?"
And in British English, it's, "Could we have the bill, please?"
Both are correct, but it depends on the country you're in.
Once the bill arrives, you might want to split it,
Yes, I could say, "Shall we split the bill?"
or I might say, "Let's go half and half."
Another option is, "This time is on me," which means I'll pay for both.
And you could reply, "Thanks, I'll get it next time."
That's how friends often handle paying in restaurants.
After checking the bill, sometimes there's service charge included.
And if not, it's common to leave a tip.
In the US, tipping is usually between 15 and 20%.
In the UK, sometimes it's 10 to 12% depending on the service.
And in some countries like Japan, tipping isn't expected at all.
Yes, cultural differences are important when eating abroad.
Let's imagine we're in the US. The bill is $50.
A 20% tip would be $10.
So the total would be 60.
Exactly. We'd say, "Here you go, keep the change."
Or could we pay by card if we want to use a credit card?
And the waiter might bring a card machine to the table.
Sometimes they take the card away and bring back a receipt.
That's when you sign and add the tip.
If you're paying cash, you can say, "Here's 55. That's all set.
Yes, small phrases like "all set" or "we're good" are common.
After paying, the waiter usually says, "Thank you. Have a great evening."
And we can reply, "Thanks, the food was wonderful,"
That shows appreciation for their service.
and it leaves a good impression.
After leaving the restaurant, we might talk about the meal,
For example, "That was such a nice dinner,"
or "The atmosphere was really relaxing."
or even, "Next time, let's bring some friends."
Sometimes we compare dishes,
I might say, "I like the soup more than the risotto."
and I could reply, "Really? I thought the risotto was the best."
These small exchanges make conversations more natural.
We can also recommend the restaurant to others,
For example, "You've got to check out that vegetarian cafe."
or "I definitely recommend it." The desserts were tasty.
Sharing opinions helps learners practice adjectives.
Adjectives like tasty, delicious, outstanding, flavorful, refreshing, cozy.
Yes, those words describe both the food and the experience.
If you had a bad experience, you might say, "I wasn't all that crazy about it."
Or, "The service was a little slow."
But even then, you can stay polite.
Right, negative feedback can still be given kindly.
Another common phrase is, "I'll definitely come back."
Or, "This place is worth visiting again."
If the meal was disappointing, you could say, "I don't think I'll come here again."
Or, "It wasn't really my style." That's gentle criticism.
Talking about food is always a big topic in English.
Yes, and restaurant conversations give learners real practice.
We've now covered arriving, ordering, eating, paying, and leaving.
But there's more special situations.
For example, what if the restaurant is full?
Then you can ask, "Do you have a table for two?"
And if not, the waiter might say, "Sorry, we're fully booked."
In that case, you can reply, "No problem, thank you anyway."
Or you could ask, "How long is the wait?"
If it's short, you might decide to stay.
Another situation is making a reservation by phone.
Yes, you could say, "I'd like to reserve a table for 4 at 7 o'clock."
The restaurant might ask, under what name?
And you reply, it's under Ryan.
Then they confirm, okay, a table for four at 7. See you then.
That's a very typical exchange.
Sometimes you want to order takeaway instead of dining in,
Then you can say, I'd like to order to go.
or in British English, I'd like a takeaway order, please.
The staff will then repeat your order to confirm.
And you can say, yes, that's correct. How long will it take?
They might say, about 15 minutes.
Then you thank them and wait.
That's another real life restaurant conversation.
Finally, let's not forget compliments.
Right. If you love the food, you can say, could you thank the chef for us?
That always makes the staff happy.
Yes, kindness is important in any culture.
Another special case is when the waiter brings the wrong order.
Yes. In that situation, you can say, excuse me, I think this isn't what I ordered.
And usually they'll apologize and bring the correct dish.
You can add, no problem, thank you for fixing it. That keeps it polite.
Sometimes food is too salty or too spicy,
Then you can politely say, it's a bit too salty for me. Could I have some plain rice?
or could I get some water, please? That helps with spicy food.
Yes, and the staff will usually understand right away.
Let's imagine we're at a very busy restaurant,
The waiter might say, it'll take about 30 minutes for your food.
and we could reply, that's fine. We don't mind waiting.
Or, no worries, we're not in a hurry.
Another common moment is when they ask, still or sparkling water.
And we answer, still please. Or sparkling please.
These little details make the restaurant conversation complete.
Yes, practicing them helps learners feel confident.
Sometimes you want to celebrate something at a restaurant.
Right, like a birthday or anniversary.
In that case, you might say, could you bring a candle with the dessert?
Or we're celebrating tonight. Do you have any special menus?
Celebrations at restaurants are common, so staff are used to it.
And it adds extra joy to the experience.
Let's not forget dietary restrictions.
Yes, you can say, I'm vegetarian. Or I don't eat pork.
Or, do you have gluten-free options?
And usually they'll guide you to the right dishes.
If you want less sugar, you might say, could you make it less sweet?
Or, can I have the dressing on the side? That's also common.
All these small requests are useful phrases to remember.
Yes, they help you take control of your meal politely.
Now, before we wrap up, let's role-play a short mini dialogue.
Good idea. I'll be the waiter this time.
Okay, I'll be the customer. Go ahead.
Welcome to Green Cafe. Do you have a reservation?
No, do you have a table for two?
Yes, right this way. Here are your menus. Would you like something to drink?
Yes, I'll have a lemonade, please.
And for you?
I'd like some sparkling water.
Great. Are you ready to order, or do you need a few more minutes?
I think we're ready. I'll go with the roasted vegetable bowl.
And I'll have the hummus plate, please.
Excellent choices. I'll be right back with your drinks.
See, that's a realistic restaurant dialogue you might actually hear.
Exactly, and it uses all the phrases we've practiced.
Let's give our listeners a few more useful tips before the outro.
Sure. Tip 1. Always say please and thank you.
Tip 2. Don't be afraid to ask questions about the menu.
Tip 3. Learn polite ways to ask for the bill.
Tip 4. Practice describing food with adjectives.
And tip 5. Remember cultural differences about tipping.
Yes, those 5 tips will make your restaurant experience much easier.
Sophie, what was your favorite part of today's conversation?
I liked practicing the phrases for ordering politely. They're so practical.
For me, it was the dessert part. Talking about chocolate cake made me hungry.
Me too. I'm craving something sweet now.
Well, I think that's a perfect way to end today's episode.
Yes, let's wrap it up.
Friends, today we took you through the entire restaurant experience, choosing a place, ordering, eating, paying, and leaving.
We also shared useful vocabulary like tasty, flavorful, outstanding, and in the mood for.
We gave you cultural tips about tipping and making reservations.
And we role played a mini dialogue so you could hear the natural rhythm.
Now it's your turn. Next time you go to a restaurant, try using some of these phrases.
Practice saying, "Could I have the bill, please?" Or, "I'd like the salad."
The more you practice, the more confident you'll feel.
That's what this podcast is all about, helping you speak naturally in real life.
Thank you all for joining us today on the English Practice Podcast.
We'll be back with another episode soon. Until then, enjoy your meals and keep practicing your English.
See you next time, everyone.
Bye bye.